Hello, friends. Welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I am your host, Wes, and with me, as always, are my good friend Ruuts and Eric. Eric, welcome back, brother.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry I missed last
We
week.
missed you.
We had a fill
Yeah,
in,
you
though.
missed me so much that you filled my chair with some freaking some crazy British guy.
Hey, that guy is awesome.
He definitely has a better beard than me.
Oh, his
Peckerhead.
beard is awesome.
It was a solid beard. It was, though, I do have to say, it was firmly in second place during that stream.
Yeah, well, how can you top the ultimate beard?
Well, this is. Oh, you're talking about mine, I hope, right?
Well, yeah.
You know-
Wes is clean shaven. Wes
that's
looks like
true.
a 10-year-old boy now with completely clean shaven.
Well, he does actually. He loses about 10 years when he shaves.
You know who else loves to top the ultimate beard?
My mom!
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
So you were gone, dude. You were jet setting across the ocean, jumping back and forth, to and fro all over Europe. How'd you like it, man? I watched a little bit of some of the stuff you were putting out there on social media. It looked like a bit of an unprecedented event. I don't think we've ever seen a studio do something like that before.
No, it was super cool, man. And I know Scott really well. Like, we talk a lot. He lives like an hour and a half from me. I've been down in the studio many times. We hang out, just go to dinner and stuff. So he would have told me the event. Like, he was like, want me to tell you what's going to happen? And I'm like, no, I don't really, because I'm going to go through it like media, and I want to be surprised. So, so I went to Sweden first and just hung out with him and Proper D in Sweden, just to have like a little break, a little vacation. And they had some stuff going on with their publisher Beyond Frames in Stockholm. So they asked me to come out just to hang out, you know what I mean, and do cool stuff. So they had like walkthroughs and stuff. So it was kind of like I was just trying to stay away from it because I didn't really want to know what was happening, and I just wanted to kind of live in the moment with it. And I pretty much did. I kept myself isolated. So when we got into the damn thing, and it was like a live action event of like living through Ghost of Tabor with live action actors and like, having like pyrotechnics going off and like people feel like people are getting shot and like having to, bandage them up and blood and stuff everywhere. And just, it was completely cool, man. Firing weapons, they're all blanks and everything. We're just inside of a studio, like a stage set. But it was super cool, man. It was just so well done. And like you said, unprecedented. I mean, like, I've never seen anything like that where a game, I mean, can you think about some of your most favorite games and then actually being able to in real life get into that game and kind of live through it with live actors? It was super cool.
Roots, imagine if we went to a Resident Evil 7 getaway and we had Jack chasing us all through the old decrepit house. That'd be pretty crazy, huh?
That would be pretty crazy. I think it'd be pretty cool if they like had somebody in real life actually trying to mess with you. That was one of the things that I thought was cool about haunted houses, if they had somebody that actually went around and like would follow the group sometimes and like fuck with you, because sometimes you don't expect that, and so I think that would be cool. But yeah, I think it'd be super cool. Tex said that he got an ad right off the bat when we started the stream. I said we have ads turned off, dude. Like, that's YouTube.
No. We have ads at the front and back. You shouldn't get one.
Well, in the middle.
We don't do mid rolls. Yeah, we don't do mid roll ads. And when I'm live streaming gameplay, I don't do ads at all.
I got
but during our actual episodes, we have ads at the front and ads at the end.
Well,
I'm sure it was a really good ad for something really.
Oh,
really
yeah.
neat, like
Just
that you
enjoy
would really
it.
use, like hemorrhoid cream.
Yeah. You don't get ads though if you have YouTube Premium though, right?
That's right.
No, there's your
I think
solution.
You can skip through them faster though. I mean, maybe you do
no,
get some,
you
and then
don't.
you can skip through them. No,
I
not
don't
at
think
all?
you get them. No, because I don't get them
Okay.
because I've got Premium. So
Yeah, you don't get ads at all. Now, there are certain douchebag content creators that just do live reads during their content. And when I say douchebag, I mean that as a joke. Obviously, these people have to make money, so I get it. I don't begrudge them for it.
I'm like, God damn,
but
I'm doing a live read next week.
yeah, you should. Yeah, so there you go, Tech. Just go ahead and get Premium, and your problem's solved.
JS says live reads is the best way. It is kind of. I feel a little weird doing them, right? Because typically they're scripted, and you know, I feel weird about putting out words that aren't my own. But if it's a product that we believe in and they're offering us a fair price, I'm not opposed to doing them. We just don't typically go out looking for these sorts of things.
I thought that one you did was good, or that was that you wrote, and then you could, I mean, and it was just delivered in such a good way. That's like the
Was that
best
for hemorrhoid cream?
Oh yeah. Well, what's not for hemorrhoid cream, really?
What's up with the hemorrhoid cream, bro?
I think
I've been traveling a lot.
I think Mash must be having an issue at the time. But how was the traveling, Mash? How was that flight? Was it as amazing as I said it was going to be?
You know, it's funny because I mean everybody knows Wes's. You know, when we all went out to San Diego, and everybody knows the story of Wes's like issues. I travel all the time, and I just international, across the United States. I just never have had those problems. Like knock on wood, like, but. Yeah, I mean, it was easy. Like literally, I flew out of Orlando, flew straight into London. I had an hour layover, and took a 2.5 hour flight from London to Stockholm. And I was in Stockholm for, like I said, I think I was there for 4 or 5 days. Got a chance to hang out with Resolution Games while I was there too. By the way, guys, they have a beautiful studio there. Our friends at Resolution. But yeah, and then I flew back. No issues. 2.5 hours into London. Spent 4 or 5 days in London. And then flew straight back from London right back into Orlando. Not a minute delay of any flight.
Well,
so
the thing is, it's Orlando, London, right there. Those are 2 major hubs, and they don't fuck around. They get people in and out, right? So.
I think the moral of the story is stay the fuck out of Chicago, because that's where you got all your problems, right, Wes?
Yeah, mostly. Denver was kind of shitty. That was my biggest problem.
Yeah,
but a lot. Yeah, I know, right?
For sure.
But no, it looked super cool. You got to hang out with GT. You got to meet Miles.
Yeah, that was awesome. Miles is such a good dude, man. I mean, I've been working with him now for, I don't know, what's it been, like 5 or 6 weeks, Wes? And like, he's just a super cool dude to hang out with. Like, he's extremely smart. He knows, and he's passionate about virtual reality. I do like that he's got a Quest 3 now, and he's like really kind of like finding out like some different things and kind of like branching out. And he's one of the most passionate people about virtual reality that I've met. Loves being in an environment with a lot of other people that love virtual reality. And then to meet him in person, it was just like we sat and hung out for like almost a day and a half of just hanging out, man. I felt like I've known him for 10 years. That's, you can't say more than that about somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
No, he's a great dude, and I knew he would be a perfect addition to our team. All of us very passionate about our jobs and about the industry and about helping to grow. And you're right, he has fit right in. And let me tell you, that guy couldn't have come along at a better time. I think we would be drowning right now had Miles not shown up when he did.
Yeah, well, it just fell into place too, right? And like with his background, what his things he could do. So, and then
it's amazing how things fall into place, right? Like if Wes didn't recommend Miles, like I don't know if he would have been on our radar to go out and look for him to do something like this. And I don't know if we would have been on his radar of, this was a good time to make a move to somebody else. So, Wes, going to PAX East and Miles going to PAX East and them getting together and then Wes saying, hey, this makes a lot of sense. Let's try and make this work. And then getting us involved to talk to Miles, and things just fall together. And man, I don't know. God is great.
Yep, I agree.
Indeed. Anyways, you got an early morning coming up tomorrow, so I don't want to dilly-dally around here for too long. Why don't we go ahead and kick the episode off and say hello to our friends in chat. Friends like Adehimbe the Catalurgic Game Cat.
He's right on time.
Said, shit. Yeah, I know. He said, shit, how late am I? You're not, bro. We just literally have just now concluded with our opening salutations, and we're only just now starting to get going. Game Cat Behemoth says, yep, God is good. Amen to that.
Amen.
Mr. Bean says, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Bean. Techno Glitch is here, says Flat to VR needs to figure out how to get devs to let up on this anti-cheat bullshit. The way that you do that is by doing official VR adaptations, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Right.
Xbox Game Pass only bitch and sometimes PS4 LOL is here. He says, good to see Eric back. Tipsy Sonic is here, says, hope everyone's okay. Thank you. We're all doing pretty well. Silver Nexus is here. Flat to VR already making great decisions to better VR. Thank you. We're doing our best. Michelle B is here. Good evening, Michelle B. JS is here. Looper, the Underground Game Cat, says, I remember an ad of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on this channel. Yeah, that's the one Reese was talking about.
Yeah.
Hello. Do you like to murder?
That was good.
That was a pretty good one.
It was good.
Not sure Brondo says he likes your new angle, Eric.
Yeah, I got my camera kind of moved there. But something different. I don't know. We'll see.
He likes the cut of your jib.
Yeah, who doesn't? You know who loves the cut of my jib?
My mom. She loves the cut of any jib.
Yeah.
She just loves his jib.
JS is here. Grandpa Barbecuer Game Cat is here. Chrome Colossus is here. Says I also got my notification light. No intro. Damn it. YouTube, get your shit together. We need those notifications to go out on time so people can watch the intro. Although the intro for Strangers in the Night's
very short.
brief.
We need to actually
Yeah.
we maybe even just bring back the old one and slot it in there. So something's there. People miss that old one, right? And then we can
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about mixing it up. I'm thinking about doing a version 3.
Ooh.
And then like after version 3, every now and then we can just kind of start rotating.
Right.
So that we're not always on the same version. Maybe we'll do 3 this week, we'll do 1 next week, do 2 the week after that.
Put it on a randomizer, that'd be cool. So we don't even know.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Thomas Richards says, don't forget to like. That's right. Thank you. Everyone click the thumbs up while we're thinking about it.
Yes. And also remember to like. Don't forget anything. Remember to like. And subscribe as well. I was thinking about that. I got the thing on here. We got the same window, same things. I could throw YouTube up and say, hey, we could, hey, it's on my face though. Let me get over here. But you need to subscribe as well, because we tell by the end of the we should, at the end of the show, everybody that's still there, they're already subscribed. They've been there for 2 hours. Yeah.
YouTube says now would be a good time to insert ads. Yeah, I think everybody would love that, YouTube. Good call.
Yeah, YouTube's greedy. We love you, YouTube.
Thomas Richards is here. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. Chinatown D is in the house. What up, D? Wu Vane is here. Prophecy 777 is here. Traveling Man 3775 here as well. Boognish 66 in the house. Evan Yabu is here. Ryan B is here. And I think we already said hello to Not Sure Brondo. That's as high as I can fly. Who's slipping in today? Bat Chicken slipping in.
Michelle B as well says doesn't think she's gonna last 2 hours. I don't think it's gonna take 2 hours because Eric needs to get some sleep tonight before his daughter's baseball.
I know. I gotta fly out again tomorrow.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm flying to California tomorrow.
I thought you were going to baseball.
Yeah, I have some. So yeah, that's what tomorrow morning I have to get up at 5:30 to go to my daughter's softball game near Orlando, and I'm taking my luggage with me, and my wife's going to drop me off at the airport right after that, and I fly
crazy.
in. AWE is this coming week, the Augmented World Expo in California, so got to go hang out there for the week.
So like all of the partners at Impact Reality are giving a talk in AWE this week.
Wow.
And then Todd's giving a talk as well, isn't he, Eric?
Yeah, I think they just been like, we need a Canadian. Who can we get to come out and do a talk? Because he is doing a talk with some super cool people. He's doing a talk about influencers in virtual reality and how they can help promote your game. And he's doing it with Kaz and Cherry and Genghis VR. So that'll be a fun panel. And then myself and Jasmine, Skiva, and Elliot are going to give a talk while we're out there as well, with Adam Bombardi as our moderator for our panel. It's super cool.
That is cool.
That is awesome. I totally don't have any FOMO whatsoever. I don't care that Palmer Lucky's going to be there.
I know, dude. And he's going to announce a new headset.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what else, too? While he's not a full-time team member, our newest XR update correspondent, Bobby Carlton, is also giving a talk this week at AWE.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Bobby's awesome, super smart. Love his take on VR and AR, XR. I will just say XR because he's very knowledgeable on all the facets of it. And I can't wait, man. Bobby's awesome, and I'm so happy that you get to work with him pretty closely now with XR Update.
So Tiffany's in the chat with the $25 US donation. Thank you, Tiffany. She said, I wish I could stay up to watch the whole show. Best holistic VR coverage, hands down.
I agree.
That's true. Thank you. She says, hot tip, always avoid seeing Eric in person if you can help it.
She's in so much trouble. Like, I'm going to come back. I'm going to be in California. I'm coming. I'm going to stalk her every day. And like, she has to come out of their house.
Did she avoid you?
Yeah, me and Wes.
Yeah.
We flew all the way to San Diego, went to the building where she works. We were supposed to have lunch with her, and she big timed us and was like, I can't make it, guys.
She's completely bailed.
That's
completely bailed. We were only supposed to be there for 90 minutes. We were there like 3.5 hours. And
she couldn't make it in that time frame. You know what sucks is if I had been there, she would have been there. Because she wouldn't have missed the chance.
Well, apparently, judging by this comment, it was just like it had Eric not been there.
Oh, well, that's true. She would have met Wes. Oh, good point. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Old Darth slipping in. Love you, Tiffany. Thank you for the donation. Yes. AW is here. Says good morning, y'all. Who else is slipping in this bitch? VR Another Dimension says VR Dave Another Dimension. I haven't missed a show for 1 year. Keep it up and keep it putting the boot into Quest 3 Roots. I love it. So somebody likes your slaughtering Quest at every chance you get.
I'm trying to rant. I'm trying to like calm down but at least I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm ranting, and I try not to. So, but I appreciate it because
Bat Chicken. Hello, Bat Chicken. Hello, Quadzilla. Hello, Man, Bear, Pig, Game, Cat. What's up? Said, what's up, guys? Just ordered some Wendy's, and I'm up for the long haul. Hell yeah.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of hungry, Six Tacos is here.
Oh, God. I wish I had 6 tacos right now.
Yeah, but what about 5 tacos? I mean,
I don't know if it's enough. Depends on where it's from.
5 tacos.
You know what I had for dinner last night?
6 tacos.
4 tacos?
Fish tacos.
5 tacos.
You know who loves fish tacos?
My mom!
Oh, sorry, go ahead. You said 5 tacos?
I had 5 tacos. Yeah. There were 7. I gave 2 to Isabel. That left 5 for me.
Oh, wow. What if his name would have been 5 tacos? Or if you'd only given her 1, you would think this was very significant.
Yeah,
crazy.
It would have been, but it's not.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, the Bad Bantha is here. Says we need some more games where you can play local within VR and one out of VR, like Diner Duo and Astro VR Playroom. There are more of those games than you think, and maybe that would be a good topic for us to take up one day, guys. Asymmetrical co-op VR games. There's a lot of them under the radar.
I think it's 2 right now on top of my head.
I would rather see
Akron.
games. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Was it Akron? I'm just trying to think. Akron and Carly and the Reaper Man.
Yeah,
Akron, Carly and the Reaper Man. There was
Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes.
I think so.
well, that's the perfect one.
There was another game. Fuck man, I forget the name of it. Where like one player is like this giant seer, and then the other player is like this tiny little thing. Panoptic.
Right.
Panoptic.
I would rather see a game that's you can play either way, and so like you could be playing like just for instance, It Takes Two. I could be playing with the UEVR mod. I could literally be playing in VR, and Mash could be playing flat, or vice versa, or anybody, right? Like you could, because of that mod, you don't have to, but it doesn't limit you. Well, every game we just named, especially Carly and the Reaper Man, at least the initial one, it was like, it sounds good, or Akron or whatever, but it for most people, it ends up being a little weird or a little bit, I don't know, hokey in a sense. I feel like, because I thought Akron would be amazing, but I think you should be able to play VR either way in both roles, and you should be able to play flat both roles. And then I think the game would be amazing.
So I haven't tried Akron, so I don't know if it's good, bad, or
Akron's fun.
Indifferent. The update to Carly and the Reaper Man, I want to say on Quest, allows you to do that, so you can play either role in VR, and it actually worked out pretty well. There's also a game called Angry Birds VR Under Pressure. That game you could play flat or VR. And I'm sure there's more that are slipping my mind right now. But when you consider what Ruuts said and the UEVR mod, I'm sure there's quite a bit. I bet you can do that in like Borderlands 3, for example.
The game we're going to talk about tonight, one person could be, you know what I mean? It's co-op, and one person could be playing either way. So
yeah. So there's a lot actually. And again, we could do a whole hour on that probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, time is short tonight, friends. We can't run super long because Eric, again, flying. It's all Eric's fault.
Whoops.
Anyways, but we do have a lot to talk about. 3 titles tonight. We haven't done 3 in a while. So why don't we kick it off by talking about a Quest game for a change? Ruuts, when was the last time we chose to play a Quest game for a Saturday episode?
It's been a long time, actually. Been a while.
Yeah, and Eric, I would say that this is a pretty significant occasion that drew us actually into this standalone platform this week. As it's still early; it's an early access title, but Downtown Club Racing, it's not garbage like the previous Quest sim. Say that in quotation marks, as we'll talk about that in a minute. But we haven't had anything that really resembles a sim racer on standalone VR yet, and without it just being complete trash. And this is pretty solid compared to its predecessors.
Yeah, I mean, again, we don't have a lot of these games on here, and the predecessors absolutely suck. So to see a game like this pop onto the store like almost out of nowhere. And we will say right off the bat, this game is in early access. It's not finished. And there are definitely issues here and problems here, but I agree with you 100%. It doesn't suck. Like I don't know if I'm like ready to go, hey, this is an amazing experience. It's one of the best things I've ever done, but I'm definitely going to say it doesn't suck. I had a good time in it. There's definitely room for them to improve, and I'm glad that they're currently working on it. This is the, like, if we're going to talk about early access games, this is the type of early access game I want to see. Like, the bones of a good game are here, and you can play it, and it's not broken, and it's not like, a complete shit show, but you can see where they're going to bring it. And that's what I'm all about for early access. Like, I can see where they're going here, because the bones of the game are here. Like, it's got a good base. And I'm willing I would be willing to pay it up for whatever. I don't know what this costs, to be honest with you, but I would have been willing to pay up to, something on it. to kind of see it out and see where it goes.
So,
Because I think what you said, Wes, is accurate. It doesn't suck.
so this game is in App Lab right now for $15.99. We did get a review key, so we want to thank the developer Commuter Games for providing us with a review key. And yes, it is very much an early access game. But judging by what I've played, um, I have faith that this is going to turn into something pretty good, Roots, because most of my problems with it are problems that stem from it being early access. There's a general lack of content here. Like I think they give you one environment. Now they give you three variations on that environment. So you've got the daytime, you've got dusk, and then you've got nighttime. Um, and it all looked, it looked pretty good. Obviously, it didn't look like a PC VR game or a PlayStation VR game, but looked pretty good for a standalone VR game. And I think most importantly, Roots, the gameplay here, at least in my opinion, feels pretty good. They give you the option of using your virtual wheel. You can have automatic or you can have manual shifting. But if you don't want to do any of that, you can use gamepad style controls and use your triggers to accelerate, use your thumbsticks to steer, and of course that is exactly what I did. And I thought the car handled pretty well. I think it felt pretty good. What do you think, Roots?
I thought the game looked pretty good as far as graphically. I felt like it was like maybe like you went like an older era type of game, right? But like you said, it didn't look bad, and I felt like the racing. Here's my thing, like especially after Hot Wheels and stuff. I didn't feel like I was moving that fast when I was racing, and when I was racing against other cars, I felt like at least the AI, everybody was just racing in a line, and I would just pass everybody, and I'm like, where's the racing here? But these are all things that they need to know, that like, because I feel like everything you said there is the bare bones are there. For the most part, the racing does feel good. Although I did use the steering wheel at parts, and if I took a sharp turn with using the steering wheel, it would inadvertently always turn me into the wall, and then like in a weird way, and then I'd have to, and then it would correct itself. And I don't know if that's something that I was doing or if it was doing.
So likely user error, because I had a similar thing, and it was just me taking corners too fast, taking sharp turns without breaking into it properly. After a little bit of practice, I was able to control myself through curves a lot better and quit running into the wall.
There is an issue though, like, and this is again early access, so it's like forgivable. But if you're using the virtual steering wheel, and I try to use the thumbstick, I suck with it. I just can't do it. Like I tried, and I don't feel like I can corner well, and I feel like I'm always constantly doing little micro turns. So I'm always doing this, like on the wheel to make my turns. So it just doesn't feel natural. So I tried that way, Wes. I couldn't do it. But Roots, I had the exact problem that you had, and there is an issue that if you get your when you're using the virtual wheel, if you get your controllers too close together, that it will actually start to almost reverse what you're doing. So you think you're turning one way, and it actually tells you that in the beginning that there is a point.
I did see that notification, but there's no way to, when you're holding them, there's no way to not have that. Like, I don't know. I guess if you're holding it, like, it's just
natural. You're in a headset and you're trying to like hold nothing that's in the air. You're holding nothing,
You know
right?
what?
So it's just eventually you're going to get your controllers too close together when you're trying to do this or do that. And then when they do that on a hard turn, you almost 90 degree into the wall when it happens.
Okay.
You know what they should do to remedy that? So you're right. Like when you're using the virtual wheel, if you have to hold your hands in the perfect position, and if they get out of that position, there's an indicator that pops up on the steering wheel to tell you that. But who is driving staring at their steering wheel? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that they could do is, at least while people are learning, maybe have an option where there's a more visible indicator in someone's field of view. What I would do though is I would have a third control option and have it be something like the gamepad, using the gamepad on Gran Turismo 7, where the tilt of the controllers actually control the steering wheel. So
Hmm.
it doesn't matter how close your hands are together if you're doing that. Just tilting the controllers and tilting your hands left and right would automatically turn the wheel. Um, I think that's a good kind of middle ground for people who don't like using virtual wheels but do want to feel a little bit more immersed. And it would completely get rid of that problem about hand positioning.
I agree, and I will
Mhm.
say, outside of that, I thought the steering was very, the virtual wheel was really good, and the using the joystick, because I prefer to like Wes. I ended up doing it that way, just because that's how I race a lot of type of games if I'm playing a flat like Hot Wheels or whatever, and but no, I feel like the game is like maybe 75% there. They just need to add more stuff. Maybe make the AI a little bit more aggressive. And maybe this is just the level I was on. It was in the early
That's
and they
it.
get more aggressive as well. Who knows? But yeah.
Now, that AI kicked my ass. Like I lost thoroughly. So either I really suck, or we were playing on different difficulties, or
Well,
something.
I just want to see more racing. Like racing isn't just all the AI racing on one line, and I'm trying to catch and pass them. People are changing different things. There's people cutting each other off. When you're, like if it's not a battle racing, at least the racing I like
Oh
you're literally
yeah.
going around the corner and you're boxing people out, and you're doing things and the AI is doing it to you. Um, and so like I can't say that this amazing. Like I saw some thumbnails and I didn't watch the video, but they were like, it sounded like they were thinking this is the best fucking racing game in the world.
Huh.
And maybe it will be someday. But and I don't know much about these devs, but like you said, the basis is here, and as long as they keep going forward and doing what they're doing, I could see this turning into a really good game.
Yeah, Oldar says, yeah, the sense of speed is lacking. It is a little bit, but that's not necessarily uncommon when you start these games. Typically, you start off with a mid grade car in mid grade races, and then as you progress, you unlock faster cars, and then are able to compete in races that take place at faster speeds. I would assume that's the case here, but I don't know. Um, and what you said, Roots, is absolutely true. I so wanted this to be a battle racer while I was playing it. Eric, I was like sitting here wanting to pull my trigger and fire missiles at these guys so badly.
Where
VR needs more battle racers.
Where's the Death Lap guys, man? They had
I
something and
know,
they just
right?
abandoned it. Like they did, like early on too, when like VR was still, or standalone VR was still pretty fresh. Like I think they could have really done well to add on to it. But
Yeah.
absolutely, like Death Lap was pretty cool, and there's probably not a lot. There's a lot of people in chat that probably even heard of Death Lap, but
Right.
it was actually a pretty cool game. But like this, it was almost a tech demo. There was almost nothing there for like depth in it, and no different cars or tracks, and then they just never added to it ever again. But that would be amazing, and this does feel like it could maybe bring a mode like that, or like like grip has a lot of different modes. Grip you can just race, you can go through and do like a demolition derby, you can do like the mode where you have all these different power-ups that you can shoot at everybody. There's a lot of racing games that are like that, where you have straight racing and then you have like different types of carnage that you can do in here, which is would be cool. So it'd be something for the devs to think about adding to it for sure. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
the bones are here, man. I think it actually looks pretty good. It's just there's not a lot. Like for me, like right now, like it doesn't seem like like I don't know how long you have to get through before you can even open up a car. It doesn't seem like there's a lot there for cars to even get to right now. And I want some customability. I want to be able to customize. If I'm in a racing game like this, like I want to be able to I want nitro. I want to be able to customize my tires. I want to be able to customize, my engine, my gearbox, for takeoff and, top speed. Those are the things you have to have as a minimum to make a deep, good racing game. And to me right here, it's just a pedal fest and brake fest right now. Like and I just and the maps are the same, and like very quickly I got to be like, all right, I feel like I've done this exact. I mean, I'm in different circuits, but I'm like, I feel like I've done this exact same turn 400 times now. Like, and so the day night cycles are cool, but man, they just need more. So like, I'm
Need
down
more,
to support them so they can give more, but yeah, I think they need to start working on it soon, and hopefully they'll get some stuff.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
ask you guys this: what do you have you heard anything about the Blaze Rush that on the Quest? Because everything you're just talking about made me think of that game, and everybody's been thinking they were going to go in there and play it, but it's broken on Quest 3, or it doesn't
What?
work on.
Is it really?
Yeah, it doesn't work on Quest 3, is what people
No
were
way.
saying.
That's a
That's
shame. That's a
weird.
great game.
So
Now
I would
you
say
mentioned
Blaze
it,
Rush is probably the best racer. On
it's
Quest.
definitely the best battle racer. You know.
And I haven't went in to try Death Lap on Quest 3 either.
True.
Now that you mention it, it still works and runs on the Rift Store and on Quest 2.
Hmm.
It's a very underrated game. It actually got kind of a raw deal from reviewers, in my opinion, when it launched. I think people were a little overly harsh on it. But this was an Oculus Studios game. It was funded by Oculus Studios, but they pretty much cut funding immediately on it before the developer had a chance to develop any more like tracks or cars. But there's like 6 or 8 cars on it already, and there's like 6 or 8 tracks, and it's mayhem. It's carnage. Now, obviously, if you go in there all these years later, you're not likely going to find anybody hanging out in the lobby. But if you want a good battle racer on standalone VR, um, and you have enough friends to go in and play with you, you should pick up Deathlap in like groups of 4 to 6, and go check it
But
out. I think people will be surprised.
I almost feel like they were casualty of the timing of that release. Like
Yeah.
that when that came out, like high end VR, like especially for PC VR, was pretty damn high. Like we had some of the best gaming out there. If that game released today, and with your typical standalone game that you see today, I think that it would be and they supported it. It would be a hit.
Well, this is the thing, man. If they supported it, it's the biggest problem or thing, man. Fuck, like it could be a big thing right now if they would have kept supporting it. They didn't. You know, that's the biggest problem, and I get it. Like some devs, they just don't have the money. I don't know what their situation was, but like, you don't just ditch and bail. You keep delivering the game that you made, and then hey, guess what? Now there's all these people in this ecosphere here, and they're buying your game because it's fucking amazing. Instead, it's dead, and it's gonna be your legacy. You have a dead game that you abandoned. What are you gonna do with the next one? You know, like I'm excited for it. I'm really not. So
Paradise Decay has a good point too as well. He says Redout 2 is free on Epic Games store, and it does work with UEVR. So everyone, go get your free copy of Redout. It's like a Wipeout style battle racer. Again, something that can be played in VR as well.
Yeah,
so
true.
Go get it.
Oh,
Check
yeah.
it out.
I went and grabbed it as soon as you told me. I went and grabbed it.
Me too.
Yeah. Downtown Club. So again, caveats here. This is early access. What's here is pretty solid. I feel like if the developer is committed to the game, they continue to support it, continue to add to it, continue to polish it. I think this has the potential to be a very good racing game on Quest. So with that said, that big caveat right there, $16, gentlemen. What do you think?
For early access, I mean, I think I'd
Yeah.
feel better if it was 10, maybe. I mean, $16 is a lot to ask for people that, I don't know. I've gotten burned a couple times recently by bigger devs, and it makes me like Gambit and stuff where I'm like, I just feel like, well, are you gonna stick with your game? I think they will, but are they? Because I don't know. I don't know much about this studio. You guys know more about them, so I just have to hope.
I think the context of my question is assuming that they are going to continue to support it.
If they
you think
deliver everything we
$16
said, yeah, $16 is absolutely worth what if they continue down the road, they add maps, they tweak the things we said, it's absolutely worth $16.
Yeah,
Eric, what do you think?
I think so. I think it's a fun game. Like even now, like I mean, I would hate to see if they ever just didn't do anything, but even now, I think it's a fun game. Again, it just gets a little bit boring quickly. It just becomes a pedal and brake fest. There's just not a lot of body here, but I think again, what's here is good. It's fun. It looks great, and I did see that they had B haptic support. Like it seems like it's
Yep.
broken,
Oh.
a little bit broken on release.
Oh
so
no! It's on the calendar, the roadmap. It's not current right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it just I
cool.
think it said in the menu. It said when we released, we were supposed to release with it ready to go, but if something happened, and they have to update it and fix it. So B haptics will be there. So it sounds like they I think for $15 is enough here to say yes, this is something I can go have fun in, and then hopefully they keep updating it. It looks like they have some. They're going to update pages of things that you're going to be able to purchase with the tickets that you can buy. So you're going to have different skins that you're going to be able to get, different racing helmets and different things that'll chat. Because I had a countdown of like 45 minutes until a new sales page came up where you could buy stuff. So that seemed cool. Like I'm definitely for $15. I don't think anything more than that, but I think at 15 I'd be fine.
Yeah, agree. I think it's a fair price for an App Lab early access title. And if this is like your jam, the type of game that you've been waiting on, I think it's safe to go ahead and get in now while it is $15.99. Because if they do continue to support it and add a bunch of content into it, I could definitely see the price rising when this hits the main store. Anyway, again, thank you to Commuter Games for allowing us to check it out. We will continue to keep an eye on this one as it develops and keep you all posted as time goes on. Eric, I think we need to. I think we need to stream Deathloop sometime soon.
I would love that, man.
4 or 6 people together
Mm.
and show the new generation of standalone gamers this buried title that was before its time.
100%, man. Like Deathloop's because it's so cool. It's got some big air jumps in it too. Like
Yeah,
that was when they weren't worried about people getting motion sick in VR. Like, hey, whatever, it's gonna happen. Like everybody got motion sick back then, so they're like, fuck it, everybody does. So just do it. But yeah, there was like jumps in it. It was fast. You had all kinds of different guns and missiles.
every car had its own like special attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have guns like machine guns and missiles and stuff, grenades and bombs and all that stuff. But like then you'd have a certain car that would have like a drill that comes out of the front of it, so you could just run through and drill people, or something that'll like chomp the car in half. These sorts of cool things, and it was a good looking and sounding game too. Like it was a solid game, man. You could tell it had Oculus money behind it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a shame that they dropped it so quickly.
Yeah.
And it had like a Mad Max kind of vibe to it.
It did.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Big wide tracks too. Like the tracks
Mhm.
weren't narrow at all. Like they were like hundreds of yards wide.
Pretty elaborate
These
too.
tracks.
Yeah, different paths, so you could like take shortcuts, and like I said, they had jumps, and like it was cool, man. It was unfortunate that they just didn't do anything with it.
You know, I
Yeah.
might have some keys now that I think about it. I might have a couple of keys. So
Ooh,
if
yeah,
we
that's
do
cool.
decide to stream it, maybe we'll give away some keys and bring some people in with us.
And you know what I'm thinking too? And then we've heard this from other developers. Because Oculus did pay for it, the developers got what they Oculus paid for X amount, and Oculus could have been the one that dropped the ball.
Oh, it was 100%. Yeah, it was 100% what happened. Like it came out, like I mentioned before, it came out to some pretty rough reviews, man. I think maybe us and 1 or 2 other channels reviewed it positively, but like all of the big channels, like back then we were smaller, and like all of the bigger channels like Gamertag and a few others gave it negative reviews, and that's all it took back then for a Quest game, So yeah, I think when Meta's or Facebook at the time saw that, they just pulled funding on it, and that was it.
Yeah.
But again, I checked it like a year ago to see if it was still up and working, and it was. I haven't seen it on Quest 3 yet. I haven't tried to play it on Quest 3, so I'd be interested to revisit it for sure.
Looper says so. It's all GT's fault. Yeah, it's all
pretty much.
GT's fault.
It always is.
Yeah. Well, he does have a lot of influence, but I don't even remember what he said about it. I just, it's crazy.
Anyways, moving along, this past week brought some paid DLC to everyone's favorite VR demo. And I got to say, a title that probably is the best demo for new people in VR this generation, and that is Kayak VR Mirage. A lot of people speculating what the next update could be from this title. A lot of people hoping for multiplayer, and I think that might be something that is still in the works. But that's not what this was. This was a new level, a fairly big level, long. This is like a river, and optional white water rapids to begin this one. Eric, well, first of all, did you play to the end of this thing, man? This thing is so long. You gotta row for like a half an hour to get to the end of this thing.
I did. I got into one spot. I was probably going at least 25 minutes. Did you guys get into this one spot where you come into like a tunnel? It almost looks like it's like a water plant.
Yeah,
there's like pipes and shit, and it gets super dark.
Yeah, I found that
I got lost
on
in
this
there.
play. I found
You got lost in there. How crazy, right?
There's like a little rubber duck in there. I started screwing around because it was like rescue the rubber duck for like 20,000 points. So you can buy stuff.
I didn't see
store.
that.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to rescue this fucking rubber duck. The problem is it's pitch black in here. I got myself turned around, and then I couldn't find my way out backwards or forwards. And so I actually, at that point, and I think you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's right towards the end, because I was already going for probably, it had to be 30 minutes at that point. And yeah, so that's where I stopped on that part, and then I went and did the rapids, and I went and did the night cycle, so I could run the night cycle, and then I did the ghost like race cycle, whatever that is. But
did you do the tour?
Did you guys go all the way through? Did you make it through the tunnel?
I did not, but did you guys do the tour?
I didn't do the tour. No. The tour is you're just sitting in the boat, right?
Yes.
The tour is too slow. It doesn't. The boat just kind of floats there slowly down the water.
So here's the thing. Okay, so I did the rapids. I did, I started at the town. I decided to do the tour, and as I was doing it, I thought, this fucking music. I love it. By the way, it's great music, but I want to feel like I'm really on this river. So I turned the music down and I just like went into chill Colorado time mode.
Nice.
And I just took this long river ride down this thing very slow. It is pretty slow, but all the nature, the sounds, the fish, I was able to really pay attention to the dragonflies swimming around,
cool.
The birds, the
eagle.
Then they had the flocks of birds going across the whole time as you're going through the canyon, and it was just really cool. And it they really nailed the sounds of nature to where you could feel like you're really out there in this surrounding thing. And then of course, if like it's always been, it's beautiful. But I wanted to try that as well because I knew everybody was going to do the rapids, because the rapids was fucking awesome. Like how crazy was it going down those rapids and actually having something to do finally than just kayak down this thing, right? That's cool.
Yeah, now you know what I really, really like about the rapids, and I hope that we see current being integrated into all of the future maps and even some of the existing ones, because I found it much easier to steer in the rapids than like on still water. With still water, I'm not the best at controlling my kayak, but when you're moving in a current, all you have to do is stick your oar in the water, and it'll rotate
Turn
your
you.
boat accordingly, and
Yeah.
the current will just push you right on down down the waterway. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Did you
Actually.
guys take
You know
any
what
of the
I?
side paths? Oops.
Oh yeah, I tried a couple of
Yeah.
different ones, which is
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I did like that too. That you could kind of like explore a little bit different. You know what I found was because I wasn't good at this either. Like I remember, I didn't play this thing a ton, but I remember I wasn't really good at it either. And I found this time that you have to take very vertical strokes. Like
Yep.
if you try and paddle like just sideways, like you think you would, like this, you're going to be hitting the sides of the kayak, and then you never get your
Yep.
paddle deep enough in the water. You almost have to like get up and then down and in, and then up and down and in that side, because otherwise you end up going like you're never able to steer yourself as much as you think you want to.
Yeah.
Like real
especially
life.
side to side. Then exactly. So that's what I found today, and I actually did way better than I have ever done before doing it that way.
How'd the racing
Yeah,
go? You probably fucking crushed it, right?
The racing.
You don't like the
So
racing?
stupid.
It's asynchronous. It's not real racing. It's asynchronous.
Yeah.
Ghost racing.
If you could race against your friends in live time, that would be really cool.
That would be cool. Like
Down
to
the
me,
rapids?
Yeah, I don't know the other.
You know what this needs? 100%. If we're making it into a game, and I want to preface that I'm okay with what this title is. I'm okay with it not being a game because it is such a good tech demo to show the capabilities of modern day VR from a physics standpoint and from a graphics and sound standpoint. It isn't something I'm going to spend a ton of time in, but it is something that I will show everyone, and something like Ruuts said that from time to time is going to be a good way to just chill out and relax. A very relaxing experience for the most part.
It's a kayak
Um,
experience, right? Like it's
Right.
a literal kayak sim, right? So
It's just so boring.
yeah,
It's so
well,
boring.
Well, imagine though if they wanted to make this into a game, imagine if they made this into a fishing game.
Absolutely. Did you see the
fucking
size of some
awesome
of
it
these
would be.
freaking? I think they're salmon.
Yeah.
I think they're freaking big, like huge ass salmon in here. That's what I kept saying. Like, holy crap! Look at that fish. I want to like stop and throw up my a line in the water. I want to fish, man. That would be.
I want to kill that
100%.
fish. That's what I was thinking. I was looking at the fish. I was like, dude, I want to kill that fucker.
Seriously, I the most fun I had in here was when I was smacking the bear in the face with the oar for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
trying to get it to
Yeah.
eat me.
Yeah,
Did it do
I tried
it?
the same thing.
No.
No, I mean
it swiped
it'll
smack
me.
the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
it'll smack the
it like
fuck out
hit
of
me
you.
hard enough and knocked me back into the water like a pretty far ways. But god damn, this game is boring. It's beautiful. You're right, man. Like I would show everybody this game, but I'm not gonna call it a game. It's not a game. Like there's just no game here
It's
for
not a
me.
game.
Like
So
I
that kinda
literally won't
brings
go
us-
back in now. Like I don't know when I would go back in. And like the same thing with the other. This is beautiful. And if you like these games, I would 100% go buy it. Even the money pisses me off a little bit, but like if you're down and you like this game for the amount that's here, I'm like, go buy it. You know what I mean? Go keep yourself happy and go buy it. Don't be mad because if you like it, you like it. But for me, I'm never going back to this game. No way.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings us to the $24 million question here then. And by the way, I want a lot in the chat says we need a Farpoint remake with these graphics.
Oh my god.
That would be amazing. That would be so good. So Kayak VR, Mirage, not a game, a very good tech demo, a game that is. Let me see how much this costs.
A walking sim, $22.99 I think on sale.
22 or 29, something like that. Yeah, I think maybe it's 29 normal and 22 on sale.
I think it's
I'll tell you.
$22.99 on sale, and that's with the
It's not
DLC.
cheap.
It's like 15 something. I was just looking at it earlier.
Oh, was it DLC 15 something? I thought it was 8
No,
something.
it's $8.99.
Oh, okay. No,
So no. So listen, the game is
Or $7.99.
$22.99 regular price for
Ooh,
Kayak
regular price. Okay.
VR Mirage. $27.88 if you bundle it with the DLC. You get 10% off. So I think $23 is a fair price for what's here. It's actually kind of a good price. I mean, for the quality of this thing and the amount of different different maps there are and the different day-night variations of them. Big maps. I think this is like a $25-$30 experience here. Um, this is an $8 DLC. And before we kind of debate that pricing, I want to say that I'm all for this being a paid DLC. Like, there was enough content in the game to begin with to justify the pricing of the game. So I'm okay with them continuing to put work into it and wanting to get paid for their work. But $8 is pretty high price for DLC. So I guess that's kind of my question, Roots, for each of you. But we'll start with Roots. One, do you have a problem with this being paid DLC? And two, if not, do you have a problem with the pricing of it?
I was shocked that when I first initially heard that it was paid DLC, I was shocked just because just like some of the reviews on Steam, people were saying, I could have sworn that they alluded in their game plan or whatever you want to call it, that it was going to come, more content was coming, buy the game, and we're going to bring you more content. Wasn't they should have been more clear on that. I don't have a problem with it being like maybe $2.99. I think, Walkabout Mini Golf has like such a perfect way of doing it, because this is the best part of the game so far, is this level, right? And so you kind of have to get it if you have this and you enjoyed the game. You kind of have to do it. I just think it's a lot of money, and I think it should have been initially free, just from what it seemed like their structure plan was, but like I could be wrong. But many people thought the same thing, so they must have really alluded, because that was just my mindset. It's like I could have sworn that they were bringing more, and now they're charging for it. So
I don't know about that. I don't recall any of that. Doesn't mean that it wasn't said and wasn't done, but
Looper, we need to know. Looper's on it.
Looper knows everything, dude.
He's the researcher.
He is. He's like Kreskin.
Eric, same question. Do you have a problem with this being paid? And if not, do you have a problem with the pricing of it?
That is a really good question, and I've been fighting about it for a while. Because this, this is, to me, it's a tech demo, and people love this game, man. They do this experience, and I just don't. So for me, it definitely wouldn't be worth it. But I don't know. The problem is I keep going back in my head and going, Walkabout Mini Golf does these things for $2.99. It's an 18-hole course that has a day-night cycle with balls all over the place that you can go and find. And
let's be fair though. Like, putting Walkabout Mini Golf level next to one of these levels is like,
oh yeah,
that's quite a before and after.
Yeah, I don't need to compare graphics though. I mean, to me, there's a lot that goes into these courses. I mean, for them, and they have a full team that works on them, and they're paying some of them they're paying IP licensing on too. So I mean, I don't know if they're any cheaper than what this is doing here.
Right.
So, and again, I'm of two minds here. That's why I'm having a tough time. Like, I don't know if they do every map. If they do every map like this at $8.99, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's too much. Like, if they want to continue this, if they want to continue to add things to this, which then I think it makes it more of a viable experience. If you have 10, 12 of these areas, but I don't know if how do they continue to do it at $8.99? Then the game gets to be $50-$60, very quickly. So
right, that's my problem with it, because like, if you ask me, is $7.99 the right price for this DLC in a box? I say no. This should be $5 tops. For $3.99 would probably be outright. $4.99 would be understandable. $7.99 is too much. But with that said, at the same time, if you're asking me, should I buy this bundle for $28? Like I just said a moment ago, that the game itself seems like a $30 like piece of software to me. So when you look at it like that, then I think I would recommend it. On the caveat that people know that this isn't a game. It's all about the experience. It's a sim, like Ruth said, very high level piece of VR software. So I'm of both minds. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard not to recommend it, but for people who already have it, because
It's the
you know, if
best.
they like it, it's the
Mhm.
best, right?
Mhm.
It's the best level in the thing. So I don't know. I wish it were a little cheaper. I would recommend it as a bundle for a new user, and if you absolutely love the original,
You have to have it.
yeah, even
Yeah.
if it is overpriced, I still gotta kind of recommend it.
Okay.
That's what I said at the beginning too. I'm like, if you love this game, don't screw it. It's $8. Go. This is great. This is a great level. I mean, I think if you're like in love with this game, then go do it, and you'll be happy with what you have. I'm sure, because it is there's a lot here, and you know the visuals are unmatched. Like, I don't know anything that looks this good. I mean, with the shadows and the effects, and like you get into the nighttime level, and like it's crazy the amount of detail and the amount of shadowing that you see here with the moon levels,
Yeah.
and the moonlighting. I mean, that you see there. It's just super cool. So like again, if you're like, if you went into here and you're like, I'm just in here showing people, you don't need this. But if you, this is like, Skiba messaged me today. He's like, I just want to say that this was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. He said he spent 80 minutes in here with this level,
Wow.
just chilling out, relaxing, and,
Doing what I
just
did.
paddling. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So, and he loves this game. So, but if you're like me and you want action and you want something to do other than just paddling, then I don't know if I would recommend it. So that's where I probably, like I said, I'm of two minds. But what PD says here, I'm all for. Like, if you want to support the devs because you hope that they'll actually make this into a game, I just wish they would come out and say that. Like, I would be,
Right.
if they were like, look, guys, we're going to give you a new map. Here's our roadmap. We need help. We need help with funding. We're going to give you this new map for $8.99. But our goal is to have climbing, and you know, where you can get out of the canoe, you can climb out of these cliffs, you can go fishing. We want to make this an adventure game, you know, where it's like a full-blown adventure, camping adventure, you know, whatever you want it to be. If they were going to do that, I would champion them up and down, and tell everybody that they should go buy it just for that reason. I just don't know that. Like, I don't know if they're going to do that. Like, I don't know. They might just take that money and run.
What if they just wanted to bring a kayak experience into VR, the best kayak experience into VR, maybe for somebody that can't leave the house, or you know what I mean, or somebody that loves kayaking but it's wintertime, and you know what I mean. Like, I think the thing is like, maybe, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Would you go kayaking in real life? And if you would, and you would enjoy it, I don't know why you couldn't enjoy this as well. I just think from a different perspective, and I don't know. I think everybody likes different things. I really had a good experience in it. It wasn't my favorite thing I had played today, but it was my second favorite thing. And up until I played the last game, it was my favorite game, because it was, or whatever you want to call it. I just had a really, really good experience in it. And I enjoyed everything about it. The white water rafting, the starting in the town, hearing people clapping for me when I was like going under the bridge. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
Yes, it was amazing. And then to top it off, the white water rapids was cool. So I think it was worth it. For me, the $7.99 I didn't pay because we got this for free.
Right.
But it was cool.
Definitely good. So Gabriel 004 wants to know, Roots, about the footage that we're showing. Is this PSVR footage or Steam footage?
This, I believe, is Steam. This is actually Paradise Decay's video. And he's in the chat.
He did say it was Steam. He said it was Steam footage.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
Steam
play this on
PlayStation.
So I didn't play this on PlayStation. I'm sure you probably did.
Yeah.
West for Without Parole, and I know that the base game had issues. With Mira and Pop-In and other issues too. Was that, have they fixed those things, and was that in this new DLC?
So you basically just took my next 5 minutes of my segment.
Oh shit! Dude,
segment right out of my mouth. So I did play this on both Steam and PlayStation VR 2. Happy to report that the level of detail of the graphics is 1-to-1. Like, the game looks the same in both headsets. But there are differences, and the biggest difference is pop in. There's a lot of pop in on the PSVR 2 version. It's constantly noticeable. It never stops, and it is a bit immersion breaking. And like Eric mentioned here, this game has always had issues on PSVR 2 with the nighttime scenes being riddled with Mira, and that's no different here. Like I noped out immediately
Oh,
after I started the nighttime version. I was just like, it was cheesecloth, bro. Like it was
oof.
really bad, and so yeah, so it was a bit unfortunate that they were able to actually match the fidelity of the PC VR version, but they continue to be plagued by these couple of specific features or errors on the PlayStation version that the Steam version just doesn't have.
Yeah,
Is there
bummer.
anything in the haptics that would make you want to go to PlayStation over
I
Steam then, if
mean,
you had your choice?
the haptics are pretty standard with it, man. I mean, you're not doing a whole lot. I mean, the haptics are great. Don't get me wrong. Like even like regular rumble on the PSVR 2 Sense controllers feels a little bit more refined than it does um, on some other basic controllers. But no, I wouldn't say that there's anything like specifically that stuck out to me about the haptics. Um, it was pretty straightforward and normal to me. So yeah, if you have both or access to both platforms, definitely this is going to be one that you want to pick up on Steam.
It's a visual thing, especially if you have a high-end computer.
I know. I ran it on my 4090. I was so happy.
It looks
because the last
cranked
time I ran this, I
everything
think I ran it on my 2080 Super.
Oh Jesus!
No,
Yeah,
I cranked everything up on the 4090. It was awesome.
Well, here's the thing. Wes said that with his 3080 Ti, you cranked everything up and it ran flawless, right? As well, Wes?
Oh yeah, yeah,
G2
it ran
Wes?
very well for me. Yeah, G2. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's crazy. Hey, Cornerstone City 777 says VR players have been through the tech demo phase. We want full games ported to VR, even if the camera's converted to VR. I have a big issue with, actually, that's everything I've been saying. You know, this is the thing I was saying when I was playing the next game we're going to be talking about, when because I might release that to patrons. I don't know. But because I was talking about Reshade, and I was like, I was looking around, I was looking up in this cavern and down in this thing and looking all around and stuff. And I again, I was like, I just, like, if I had 100-foot TV in front of me, I'm not going to go up right next to it to feel like I'm closer and in it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of very similar thought process to do it in VR. And the more I think about it, the more I think I could never do Reshade again. I just, unless now this is my caveat. I would have no problem playing the game through a TV in front of me or a window that's normal distance so that I can have the 3D depth, because I see the value in that. But I just, being that close to the screen to try to trick myself into feeling like I'm really looking around, and then, like Dee says, capturing a corner of not seeing it and being pulled out. UEVR has fucked me over. It's screwed me. It's just the games are too good in there. I can't go back.
So obviously, I don't want to get off on a big debate here about this. We've talked about it 100 times at this point already. But the way I kind of feel about it is, obviously, I would prefer the world be 360 degrees around me. But I'm a 3D gamer, and having that 3D depth immerses me in a game more than not having it. And as far as like the distance of the screen, I don't move it all the way up so that it fills up my field of view completely. I find that to be a little bit uncomfortable for a lot of games. I actually back the screen off. You can set in virtual desktop the distance that the screen is from you and the size, the curvature.
Right.
It's all configurable. So I typically keep it back, and I just have a screen floating in front of me, but the depth is there. Like you
Right.
can see.
See, I see
3D
value
depth.
in that for the 3D. It's just the getting it right up in your face, because this is the thing. And I know somebody said, I think it was my roommate, and I didn't even think of it this way, but like it's like going to the movies, the movie theater, and sitting in the first row. I don't want to
Yeah,
fucking do that, dude. That
agreed.
sucks.
That's not how I use it at all. I don't even put the curvature on it. Like I have a perfectly rectangle screen that's pretty big. It's not as like all the way maxed out, but it's like 75% on the size, and then I have it backed almost as far away from me as it can be. Because you're right, the field of view is a problem in these flat games. If you can't turn your head and look, having that field of view stretch past your peripheral will put you at a pretty big disadvantage, let alone the fact that it's just not very comfortable. So I agree with you as far as that's concerned.
And I'm like Ruuts now. I'm spoiled, but I'm spoiled the opposite way. I can't play anything on a normal monitor anymore. I literally won't. Like I haven't put a game on my monitor since I got my Apple Vision Pro, because I want to play it on a huge screen in front of me. To where I almost do feel like the Apple Vision Pro, the way it is, it almost feels like reshade. It doesn't have the 3D depth, of course, but it does feel like you have the reshade because of the size. I think it will eventually. Right. Yeah. But I love it, man.
Did you see what they're doing with the 2D images right now?
Yeah, they did a big update.
Putting 3D into just regular 2D images and making them 3D.
The AI will bridge everything that we can't do. It bridges everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
so soon, like a reshade type feature that auto injects 3D into not only like games but just movies in general. That's all going to be very doable soon.
Here's my only issue with what you're saying, Mash, is as soon as the Apple Vision Pro or even the Quest can give me 240 frames, then I could move away from my OLED. It's the speed of I go back to 60 and look at things. It just feels like it's everything is so slow. It's 4 times as slow. So I just can't do it. I feel the same way about console games that are locked at 30. I don't know if you've ever tried to play those again. That is like really bad. I can't do it, and I don't know how console people do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was there. I played Kharkov for over a year, and I needed the 144 hertz and Call of Duty. I don't feel it anymore. Like, and I know the Apple Vision Pro is pretty close. It's not 60, but it's not 100. It's not as high as you're gonna get on a normal monitor, but it just doesn't bother me. And I've played a ton. I've been playing tons of flat games lately, like more than I ever normally would. And I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying it on that headset, and I just can't bring myself to sit in front of a monitor anymore and play it. And I have a great monitor. I have a $3,000 monitor here.
You should sell that thing.
To me,
dude.
It's a waste. It really is now. I really would. And even for work now, for me, like I could, like Todd's working. Todd, I think, is working like 8 or 9 hours a day in his headset, and he is already talking about going out and trying to find a Mac, because he doesn't have a MacBook. He's not an Apple guy. He's trying to find a broken MacBook that has no monitor, like a broken monitor, so like he can find one cheap, so he can just bring the MacBook into the headset. So,
that's what Brad does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can save a lot of money buying these busted ass MacBooks that the monitor don't work on them anymore. That's exactly what I would do if I had one of these headsets. Now, just to be clear, I would never ever pay $4,000 for one of these headsets. But if I had one, I would definitely be looking for a broken MacBook Pro to use with it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the point where they get this headset down to like $2,000, $2,500. I mean, 1,500. I mean, who knows where it's going to be eventually? The third rendition, the second, the third. Because I do want people to see this and enjoy it. But because I know most people won't, and most people can't.
You know what? I'm as far as like practical application in my life, what I'm the most excited about in terms of the impact that this product is going to have overall on the XR space. I'm excited about what this is going to mean for 3D cameras and 3D video content. This is going to push that segment of the market, which I've been engaged with for years at this point, um, very quickly into a place where the quality is going to go way up and the price of the equipment is going to come way down. That's I'm really excited for that. Within 2 or 3 years,
Mm.
We should see a very, very different scene with regard to immersive video and images.
Yeah, old Darth says, "Is Apple gonna make more headsets? Seems like they're taking a bath on the Vision Pro." And what you got to realize that is they just like a day ago, 2 days ago, just released it to Asia, China, and so like they're about to explode. Like just because people here can't afford it, people in China love VR, love AR way more than we do, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna do well.
They just led off with their yearly conference with 20 minutes of Vision Pro before they did anything else. And they just launched a new operating system for this thing. Like we're less than, what are we, just about 6 months in? We've already got a new operating system. They have updates for it constantly. Finally starting to see some AAA stuff with the Marvel experience that just came out. That's freaking amazing, by the way. So, I mean, I there's no way that Apple is getting out of this. Like, they have opened this can now. Like, there's no way like that they can back down. Google and Samsung are coming with their own headset that's going to be very similar. There's no way that Apple knows that the path forward for them eventually is going to be in this in this medium. So I don't care how much money they're losing right now. If they are losing money, I don't think they are. I mean,
No, they're not.
I mean, they're selling these things at $3,500. So even if they just sell what they've made, and this isn't Meta that's losing $500 on a headset every time they sell one. They're making money on every one of these headsets they sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Xbox Game Pass only bitch says there's no Apple in China, bro. I'm just telling you what I read. I'm just literally reporting what I read 2 days ago. So maybe what I read was inaccurate, but it didn't sound like in the article it was inaccurate. It sounded like the Apple Vision Pro is being distributed
I read
in
an
China.
article. Yeah, I read an article that said that they had revealed it to the public this past week with demos the way that they did here. And by the way, there is Apple all over China. There's a huge market there for aftermarket parts and knockoffs of Apple. Apple is huge in China. Now it's not all really Apple. It's got Apple guts, bro. Got Apple guts.
It's Crapple.
But
I miss
it's
Crapple.
Snapple. But
Snapple, I mean.
Anyway, they had to add new dates and more demos because it immediately completely filled up, and there was a way bigger response to it than anyone had imagined that there would be. It went over pretty well, this reveal in China last week.
Yeah.
It's a great headset, but nobody should buy it. Like I don't recommend people to buy it at that price, but it's a mind-blowing headset. Like it's one of the best experiences I've had in a virtual reality, augmented reality headset, but it's just not worth it. Like not yet. Like the next one, when that price comes down, or the next one after that, then I think it'll be crazy.
And they'll have added apps. They'll have ironed out bugs. It'll be. I mean, like Jim Hall said, most people don't want to be the early adopters of Apple because they're not, it's not fine tuned. Second, third generation. So.
I mean, they change everything. Yeah, they change everything constantly. Like one of the biggest things people had was, again, this is a productivity headset. Like every morning I use this headset because I get up, have my coffee out of my my patio. It's nice weather, and I set my whole room up, right? Well, the problem is it wasn't persistent. So every morning I had to redo a thing. I got to set up 7 different screens and put 7 different things out there. And you're like, well, this is a productivity headset. Why can't I have a persistent workroom if I'm going to the same spot every day? And they fixed it. So now that's the case. When I open it up, everything is exactly where I want it, where it was before, and then I can change it when I want to. Things like where your apps are on your screen, it was like locked. You couldn't change things. So if I have apps I don't use, why do I have them on my main home screen? Like, it's stupid, right? So just small things like that, and now they've updated and they changed it. Now you can put wherever your apps are, you can move them all around. So it's, just like you can on your phone. Well, now you can do it here. New experiences, better pass through, better, everything is getting better every time they do this. Again, we're not even a year into this, and we don't even have most of the developers developing a ton of stuff for you. Wait till a year from now when you have way more
Swingle.
support from developers. Oh my God, Swingle's amazing on every headset.
Every headset.
It's on the Flow, the Vive Flow.
Oh God, hey, you still have that, right?
You do.
Yeah,
I do. It's excellent.
You know who doesn't have a Flow anymore?
My mom. My
Not
mom
for
was.
some time now.
Anyway, guys, we are running on. Why don't we get into our main event of the evening and talk about the mod of the week. As has been the case lately, we chose another UEVR mod because it's just so damn convenient. Eric picked this week, and he picked a game called Evil West. This is a game that
Evil
is available.
West?
Evil West.
Yeah. Who doesn't love Evil West?
Oh yeah.
This is a linear arcade style beat 'em up on Steam. It retails at $49.99. I wasn't super familiar with this game, Eric. Obviously, I started looking at it when you started talking about it, and I thought it would be pretty cool. I was a bit concerned about it, just based on it looked a little bit arcadey, a little simplistic in terms of gameplay, and the levels looked pretty linear. With that said, it is arcadey. The levels are very linear, and this game's pretty fucking awesome in VR. I had way more fun in this game than I ever expected that I would. And man, with one click, this is a pretty damn awesome VR game.
This is just a great freaking game. Like, in general, this is just like, I don't know. This is my kind of game. Like, I get so much enjoyment out of these games. Like, this is just like, well, if you guys are like, well, what does Eric like to play? This is it. Like, this is the game. Like, this exact third person, I'm okay with it. That's fine. But again, and I did play it a little bit. When I first got it, I played it flat, and then got into it in VR, and it's just a whole new experience, man. This game is so good. And I played it with a gamepad. I'm 100% fine. I love the third person view, the dive rolls, the arcadiness. There is depth here for a game that is like arcadey. There's a lot of like progression of your character, which is cool. But man, Ruuts, what you talk about AAA gaming in VR, like everything feels like top notch AAA voice acting, visuals, gameplay hook. I'm trying just the story. Everything is here, man. And then when you bring it into virtual reality, you're like, this is gaming bliss.
Yeah. No, this is actually. I actually kind of went into it thinking I was going to be good, but not as good as it was, and it was everything you just said. It's because the story right off the bat was gripping me, and I was like, oh, this is intriguing. The acting is amazing. The sounds, the visuals, and one of the biggest things blew me away because I played it for like an hour and a half probably. It's just the consistent variety of everything, levels, everything's different. The enemies, the attacks, the way they're attacking, and you're constantly adding more and more things to your arsenal of ways you can fight. Right, you feel more and more of a badass as times goes by, and the progression tree is amazing, and every one of them, at least the ones that I looked at and scrolled over that I can't get to yet, they all sound amazing, and they're going to be amazing because the ones that I've unlocked so far have been awesome. So now I will throw this out there, and you can see right here, Radio Runt, If you are worried about the spiders in this game, don't worry. There's actually an arachnophobia slider you can change. I don't know what it changes it to, but there's a lot of spiders in there as well, and at least in this area here. But yeah, no, I thought this was definitely hands down the best game I played today and in a while. So
Radio Rent won't play this. He won't play this. Like, there are less scary games than this that he won't play. So it's a shame. This is a really good game, and you know what? It runs very, very well in VR, and that was kind of the first thing that I noticed about it. I played this in my HP Reverb G2.
Oh, nice.
Again, one button inject, no problems, and immediately blown away at just how sharp and detailed everything was. I ran it with DLSS, balanced with 50% sharpness, and it was just crystal clear and sharp as it could be. And the frame rate, I didn't keep the number on my screen, but I could tell it wasn't dropping frames. It was as smooth as it could be, uncapped frame rate.
what do you guys think about the boss fights? Like the fighting in here. So they start you right off the bat with punching, right? You get your punching, then you get your regular gun, then you get your rifle, then you know, like you're getting, but like some of these boss fights that I got to were really elaborate. I think I killed like 3 or 4 of them, and again, each one of them was very unique and different, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I liked it. You're right. They do a really good job of layering your abilities as you play through it. That you keep unlocking new weapons and abilities, and they give you just enough time to get good at the last one before they give you the next one to kind of pile it on. So the gameplay and progression balancing is really good in it. My only real issue I had with it, and this isn't in the game, but just with how it kind of lines up with UEVR, is so you have these mini bosses that have special attacks, right? Now you can disrupt those special attacks. You can't block them, but you can disrupt them by kicking. And the way you kick is you press in the right thumbstick. I don't know how many times when I was in the heat of battle, I accidentally pressed the left thumbstick and the right thumbstick together, and it brought up the UEVR menu, and I probably got killed at least 5 times because of that.
I did the same thing, but there's in the menu, there's an option. So when you go to where, and I don't know exactly where it's at, and maybe somebody in the chat will, but it'll say that the way you toggle it on is holding down the left and the R button, but there's another one you can toggle that makes it a long press. So you have to hold them in. And so, because I died twice to that fucking first boss that way with that kick. And I'll tell you what, and I'm sure the devs aren't listening because this is a flat game, but I can't imagine a more awkward fucking button, because that's not normal. And I bitched about it in this video so many times because I'm like, why would you put the kick here? Because it's just it's a very awkward thing to press. Everything else is streamlined, and there's no way to remap it. I went and tried to remap the roll, because for me, every game I play that rolls is on the A button.
You want it on the shoulder, right?
Well, no, that's a no. Well, I guess I'm trying to think. No, I think I put it on the A, but maybe the shoulder. I can't remember which one ever. But anyway, there should be an option to swap that. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing, because I had the same problem. It just kept pulling that menu up.
I think because I started this game flat, I never had that issue. So yeah, so when I went in and started playing it in VR, because I was already kind of used to it, and I never had when I started, I never had the menu option, problem, because I was flat. So, but yeah, I could see where that could happen.
You know what else I really love about this game, Roots, is the traversal. There's you have to traverse a lot of like gaps in things, and this game has
it's happening. It's happening
button
to me.
Press.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. This game has a button press grapple that allows you to swing across gaps, and when you get good at it and second nature with it, you fly through this stuff, and it just feels so good in VR.
Yeah, the traversal, I think, with the moving around is really good, and the movement system is really good because it's just the way you can dash and roll, and it reminded me a lot of Remnant 2, and that's why I liked it as well. And if you look through here, you're literally going to watch me turn this off, and you'll be able to see exactly where it's off, because that was right after I died. I said, you know what? That's not fucking happening again. I'm turning this off. And it took me a little bit to figure out exactly where it was at, but I knew there was an option. So.
You know why I think I like this game so much, Roots, is I think for me, it's very much Remnant, and it has a Souls feel to it, but it's more arcadey and more action, more fast-paced.
The story's better. The story's way better in acting.
Yeah. So to me, it's like the best of both worlds. Like I get, because I do like the Souls. I think you like the Souls a little bit more than I do, just because I like maybe the more actiony, arcadey kind of part. So this being like somewhere in the middle between the two for me is like, this is like the game style play for me that I just love this.
Yeah.
Lozix wants to know, is this a Western shooter game? I wouldn't call it a shooter. There's shooting in it.
Punching. There's also explosions.
Yeah. It's like it's a beat 'em up first and a shooter second, I would say. A lot of the shooting, at least on default controls, is auto aimed. But I did see in there where you could turn that off. Have you either of you guys tried playing with the auto aim off?
I did. I turned it off because it's I saw it was on there, and I said, you know what, I'm recording this and Wes is gonna see it. And, I got to make sure that's not on there. I thought it was weird. It didn't seem. I mean, what it allowed you to do is to move that reticle and fire it, but I didn't seem like it was that much different. But I didn't have it on when I was using the long rifle though, so I don't know what that would have made a difference on that. So
you got to figure that reticle out for the VR mode though, because it seems like every UEVR, every game you inject that has a reticle, the reticle never lines up correctly, because this one's off too. Like if you have to aim down sight to where you get the reticle is just a hair up and to the right of where you're actually aiming.
Interesting. I wonder if it's one of those things like Aliens Fireteam. We discovered at the end there
you have to reset it.
Move your head to the right spot and the reticle would be dead on. But it just depends on where you're sitting.
It probably
this one's different because it's third person, no, not first person. Because I think it worked with Fireteam Elite because it was first person, right?
I'm not sure, but you can put. I mean, maybe I should try that. Put head aiming on. I love head aiming.
I did see that, yeah.
So
you know who's been playing Fireteam Elite?
Who?
GT.
Our friend AJ from.
Really?
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have got in there and played with him today if I didn't have all the stuff to play for today's show. But I told him that we should get in there, and I mean that game supports 4-player co-op, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, we should get in there, and because I always wanted to go back to that one. I thought it was great, and we need to play more of it. So
yeah,
that was a blast. Yeah, GT Gamertag plays it too. He loves that game. So
this is only co-op.
People in there,
right?
It's multiplayer. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us has even tried this game as a multiplayer, but it is worth noting that multiplayer play is supported on this. I got to imagine, Roots, that it would be co-op. I can't see any kind of like competitive multiplayer in this. It just doesn't seem like the type of game to support that.
No, I think it's only. I believe it's 2 people because at least in the wording of it, they say co-op versus multiplayer. Usually it'll say multiplayer, or if it's 3, but it could be more than 3 or 2. Could be 3 as well.
Definitely something we should look into because again, another game here that I'm really enjoying and would love to spend more time with. Yeah,
and we all own it.
Yeah,
we do all own it. It is a $50 game. That's why someone in today's chat is going to be so happy because we're going to give a copy away of it right now.
What?
The first person on my screen
Uh-oh.
that types the name of this game will win a copy of this game
Oh,
on
God.
Steam to play in VR tonight.
yeah.
Go.
Wait a minute, Wes. You
Damn.
didn't drag that out enough. You know somebody's going to be saying that in the chat. They'll be like, you didn't give us enough
Oh,
of a
man.
lead in.
Looper.
Yeah, I got
Looper.
Looper.
Oh
The
yeah,
Underground
hell
Game
yeah. Hell
Oh, yeah, I love Looper.
That's awesome, Looper. You're gonna love it. It's
So
amazing.
when when the PlayStation finally gets unbound from the PlayStation, when the PSVR 2 gets unbound from the PlayStation 5, he can finally go in and do this.
Oh, is that his only headset? Well, it doesn't matter.
Looper-
I don't know. Does he
I
have-
think
He can play
I
it
think
flat.
Looper has a Quest. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
that's
he's got a
awesome.
Quest 3.
I don't
He says
know.
he's got a Quest 3.
Yeah. So yeah, congrats, Looper. Everyone else who answered, Cooper ALD, D, you can play this on our account.
I think she wants to
But
play
wait.
with.
Well,
That's true.
that is true. Old Darth, Techno Glitch, Grimrock Philosix, everyone who didn't win there, everyone who's watching this tomorrow after the fact, you too can have a chance to win. And all you have to do to enter is make sure you're subscribed, leave a comment down below that says that you would like to win a copy of Evil West. And next Saturday, we will give away yet another copy of this game. And for what it's worth, you can pick this game up through, I think it was G2A, for $20. So that's
Nice.
where I got these keys from. Shout out to everyone who donates on YouTube and
Patrons.
supports us on Patreon, because that's the reason why we're covering this game today. That's the reason why we're running this giveaway. It's because of the support of people like you. So we very much appreciate it. Again, congrats, Looper, and good luck to everyone else.
What do you think about the just the amount of enemies too? Like, and that's the thing too that I was thinking when I was playing this, because most games in VR like will hold back, and flat games don't. And there were so many times I had like 15, 20 enemies on the screen. I had bosses in the sky shooting shit at me, and I was like that. And I loved it. I'm like, man, you got to be on your toes. You're fucking rolling every second. You're moving. You're juking. You're jiving. You're shooting. You're punching. You're like, the combat was the best part of this game, man. Like, it's just, you can see it in this footage. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and being immersed in it in VR really made the combat feel more visceral, right? Like the haptics are good in the gamepad, and being right up close to the action and the way the sound effects kind of feed into that, really make the combat feel brutal when you're in there. And you're absolutely right. It's one of the things I really enjoyed about the game, Roots, is it's kind of like Doom, where if you stand still, you're going to get killed. You got to constantly be moving in this thing. And like I mentioned before, just as comfortable as it could be, it didn't give me any eye strain. I didn't have any kind of like nausea or anything. It was just completely comfortable from start to finish. It was really good.
I meant to say something back then when somebody said something about it being a Western, right? Which it kind of in some ways is, but like this has a sci-fi themed story to it. Like this is like aliens, and there's some weird shit going on here, and I still don't know what's going on. Yeah.
It's got that dark tower going on.
Yeah, exactly. And so like it's definitely not a Western. If you're expecting like a Western theme, that's not it. Although they did ride horses and they got a gun. Yeah. He's got a cowboy hat. So
yeah, it's definitely got some like Western vibe to it and Western setting. Like for example, you're robbing a train here to start the game off. Like there's a lot of that sort of thing in there, but it's very sci-fi and yeah, it's not like a straight. It's not you're not playing Red Dead here, but
yeah, it's
there's definitely Western themes.
Yeah, like an alternate universe, right? Like if it was like steampunk Western kind of.
Yeah,
you know what? I will say this:
vampires.
What was that game we played recently that was also kind of like a Western vibe to it? Was it Soul Slinger or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Soul Slinger. Yep. Envoy of Death.
I like this one better. That Soul Slinger is really good, but I like this one better.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is this is a way better game than that one was, like significantly better in my opinion.
Mash is like all offended.
Look, I love both. No, because these are
equal.
Both, like I love the roguelike of Soul Slinger. Like to where the reason I like Soul Slinger and I do like this one more. But the reason I really like Soul Slinger is again, it's one of those ones I can just get in and play it for 45 minutes to an hour and just pick it right where I left off. This game, I believe it's going to have a big story. It's going to be grand. It's like, you're in here. And there's exploration here too. There's gold you have to find all over the map. There's a little side paths that you have to go down, or little areas you have to go in to find gold, and the gold will allow you to unlock certain things later on. And you need it. So there's a lot of exploration here. Those are things that are not easy to get into. Like you can't just get into this game for 40 minutes. Like I think you need a proper play session to get into this game, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like Soul Slinger for the roguelike effect of I can just get in for 45 minutes, do a couple of runs, or get on one good run and then turn it off and be away from it. But yeah, I do like this one better.
Maybe that's what I like about this one a little bit better, even though the story and the gameplay is really the biggest thing. But like I'm kind of getting burned out with that whole, roguelike type of game. It's just so much and so many, and not saying that they're not amazing. It's just this isn't that, and it's kind of refreshing.
No, it's great, and Soul Slinger is for as good as it was, and we did enjoy that game quite a bit. This just feels more natural in VR to me. Like obviously it's a gamepad controlled game, but it feels better to play in VR. It feels like a game that was kind of meant to be played in VR to me. So yeah, I liked it a lot better than the Soul Slinger.
It was awesome.
Anyways, I think it's about it. You guys have anything else you want to add about this? It's a beautiful game, dynamic lighting and shadows. It's a brutal beat 'em up with some shooting as well. It's certainly got Western themes, but it's more about these sci-fi monsters that you're trying to take on. It's story driven, high production value, and it runs absolutely butter smooth even on the most demanding PCVR headsets. It's just great.
No, I would just say that if you like this type of game, or if this gameplay looks even compelling to you at all, I'd get it. If you're able to play games in UEVR, because it's amazing. But VR is not magic. If you don't like this type of game at all, and you're looking at it and you're like, this doesn't look fun, it's probably not going to be fun for you. But I think most people would enjoy it. It's got everything that if this type of game needs, and it's amazing.
Glitch wants to know if you can do this in first person. I don't know. I didn't care enough to pursue that. There may be first person profiles for this game. Typically there is.
It's possible.
Yeah, it could be that there's a lot of role in this. To me, to me this is very much like a Returnal or an Elden Ring, where
you need to see more.
And it very well could be there, and I can find out. I'll check with Elliot and find out. And there may even be a touch controller setting where you can actually use your touch controllers. But to me, I mean, I think because of the way this game is, just play it with a gamepad, you'll be fine, and play a third person.
No, it's great. It's great just the way it is. I didn't miss first person with motion controls at all. In fact, it would probably play completely differently if it were like that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Old Darth wants to know what style of music is in the game. I didn't really dwell on that too much. You guys pay any attention to the music?
It must not have been that overwhelmingly there, because I don't even remember music being there, but I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole sound effects thing is great, and I'm sure the atmosphere. I remember hearing some of the atmospheric music is fine, but I don't remember it like being like heavy metal or like Western themed like guitar playing music. I don't remember that, like what it was.
How weird. I should remember music, right?
Yeah, I know, right? After we got out of Kayak and it just didn't live up, I guess.
Yeah, that music was so good. It was good. It's just I love the crickets and the sounds of nature.
I thought about turning it off. I did. I thought about doing the same thing, but I didn't, just because I was enjoying the music. Like it's super upbeat at times, but then when you get into like relaxing areas, it's very relaxing. They always fit the mood pretty well with the music in Kayak.
It's true.
Anyway, I think that's going to be our show tonight, folks. I want to thank everyone who stayed up late or got up early to hang out with us. Let us know you're here, man. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, especially if you want to enter the giveaway, the Evil West giveaway for next Saturday. By the way, guys, that's not the only giveaway that we have going on right now. Our previous episode, I think it was Virtual Strangers 214. We are giving away 2 copies of Journey to Foundation on Steam right now. So if you haven't entered that one, be sure to go back to our previous episode. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment to enter that giveaway. We're going to be giving that one away on Monday for Virtual Strangers 215. Again, if you're already subscribed, you want to do something a little extra to help support us, help us to be able to cover these moddable flat games. These games ain't cheap. You guys totally make it so that we can cover these, and you guys totally allow us to share the wealth and spread the love around by doing these giveaways. So if you want to support us on Patreon, $3 per month is all we ask. We share with you our weekly show notes, insider updates, exclusive content, and you get your name on the ticker at the end of the show, all for less than $1 per week. So shout out to everyone out there who supports us on there, and shout out to our newest patron. Let me make sure I got the name right here. I don't want to botch it. Just a moment. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, Roots. That's what always happens. We lose one, we gain one.
This is a balance, right?
Yeah. Dan Johnson, aka VR Mad One.
Don? Dan.
Oh, Don Johnson?
It's Don Johnson.
Oh, I didn't even get that. I was just thinking of Don from the CruCast. Well, Dan, we appreciate bringing you aboard and your support.
Thank you very much. People always step up. Anytime we put it out there, we lose a patron, and we lost 2 last week. But
how dare they?
Picking one up.
How dare you?
How dare you?
They're going to be sorry this week, Roots, because we have all kinds of content that's been accumulating. I still have a Mud Runner video.
I just uploaded that one today. Just needs to be have wording put in it. But
oh, so you did upload
I did.
The one from last week? All
yep,
right, cool.
It's uploaded yet. Just needs some description and then a link spread to the patrons. I'm
all over that. So yeah, we've got exclusive content coming for the patrons and more. If you don't have money to join the Patreon, we get it. Everything's expensive right now. It's kind of crazy just how expensive everything actually is right now. That's why it's 100% free to join the Virtual Strangers Discord. You want access to Eric, Ruuts, and myself? You don't have to pay a dime. We live on the Discord 24/7, 365. We're in there talking about VR games. We're talking about flat games. We're talking about music, movies, whatever the topic of the day is. We're watching people die in fiery police chases on the regular. Yeah. So join us on the Discord. There's an invitation link down below. All you have to do is click through, and you will be greeted at the door. I assure you.
Just wipe your feet. We left the light on, and we're set to go, right?
And with that said, friends, I would like to thank you all once again for watching. For Ruuts and Eric, I'm Wes. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Take it easy.
See you later.